Assalamu alaikum, hallo en 'n hartlike welkom by Proe. Ek is Abidah, Dixon, Mohamed en in die kombuis vandag kuier ek saam met meneer Barkie McKrea. Hallo julle. Jong, vandag kook ek by 'n man wat 2 keer groter is as ek. En genade, ek moet elke keer opkyk as ek met hom praat. Van wie praat ek? Ek praat van meneer Barkie McKrea. Assalamu alaikum.
Hey, salam, how are you, Abidah? You well?
Ek is wel, man, kan julle sien? Kan julle sien? Ek moet opkyk. Nou, imagine nou net, hoe gaan my nek het nou hou? Maar nou, Barkie, ek het jou mos nou al lank al gevra om op die program te kom. En sy is nou so besige man, dat sy elke keer mos nou 'n verskoning het.
Story, I got a story.
Maar eventually is sy nou hier. Nou kan jy vertel vir my, wat maak jy vandag vir my en jou kombuis?
I'm making a chicken pasta because it's most probably one of the easiest. As you know, I've got 3 boys and myself, so we're 4 men in the house. There's no women in the house.
Okay.
So when we cook, we have to cook easy meals, quick meals, but also very healthy meals.
Alright.
So the idea is not to cook unhealthy meals.
Nou, gou. Het julle nou opgetel wat hy nou gesê het? Hy het gesê there's no woman in the house. Het julle gehoor? En hy kan kook. So nou ja, hoeveel van julle is daar? Maak 'n lysie. Onthou net, julle gaan sy contact details kry, moenie worry nie. Barkie, wat se werk het jy hier vir my vandag gehou?
So what I did is the basic of the pasta is I've started with the onions. As you know, the onions they take long to braise and stuff. And so hopefully I can get you to just cut up the 2 peppers for me. I like the yellow and the green, is my favorite. And then the pasta that I love, my kids love and we love, is more the sharp end ones. We love this pasta. You know, some people prefer different type of pastas, but this is good for us. Okay. And then I use a bit of canola oil, and I've already started with that. Yes. And the pasta is cooking at the moment and so that. But if you can do that for me and cut up 1 tomato and the 2, and then maybe the 1 onion in half, because I'm gonna squeeze the 1 onion. In the meantime,
vir my man, ek hou nou van jou groot mes of ding, maar as jy nie vir my 'n kleiner mesie man, dit dan gaan my mos nou.
Yes, we wanna get you something smaller. We don't want you to get hurt. Just be careful with the knife.
Yes, exactly.
I know you're the pro.
There you go, exactly.
You're the champ, the WPCY, WTT champion.
Nou Barkie, as ons nou praat van pastas, jy praat nou van goudkook en daai tipe van goeders. Hoekom jy's pasta? Is dit mos die enigste ding wat gou gaan nie?
No, it's not. I think, but you know, as a guy, I'm sure the women's gonna love this argument now. But the thing is, as much as men are efficient and we're cool and we're the great cooks or whatever it's supposed to be, nothing beats your mom's cooking. So I think women are the best at cooking, maybe in retrospect. Yes. The guys are not going to agree with me. But the thing is, so we cook meals that goes quick, and I think it's filling. Yes. I mean, we do make a lot of minced stuff as well. We try not to eat a lot of meat, so the white meats like chicken breast is cool. Another thing that goes quick also, I love making fricadelle as well, but I had to choose between fricadelle, making fricadelle with food like spaghetti bolognese and those kind of things, versus the chicken pasta. So I opted for the chicken pasta for today.
Maar kyk nou, as jy kan ook kook, maar kan jy ook bak?
I'm not a good baker. My son is the baker. He's actually here today. My son is the baker. You know, Tariq is the baker man, and I'm more the cooking man. And so he does the baking. The only thing I can do well on a baking front is, I don't want to deceive the ladies, is I can make the best pancakes in Cape Town, that's for sure.
Okay, maar nou vertel vir my, wat se bestanddele gebruik jy nou vir jou lekker pasta?
So here's the thing, I know everybody's got their own funny stuff, so with me, I try and keep it simple. Yes. With me, I'm going to have to start throwing in some more onions there. And for me, I try and keep it simple, but obviously I showed you the pasta. But in addition to that, I will also like throw in quite a bit of tomato. And then I'll throw in a tiny bit of tomato sauce and then a creamy cheese sauce. Now a lot of people like to make it saucy. My kids don't like the pasta too saucy, because at the end I'm gonna put the pasta and the mixture together, and then I'm gonna put the cheese on top and grill it. So I think then it becomes very nice at the end. So you'll see at the end, don't worry, it will go quick. So it's quick, but it's nice food. But I think the women have better recipes, maybe in the context of using these pasta sauces, and that I create my own sauce while I'm making the food. So you'll see now I'm like throwing a little bit of tomato sauce, and I use only like cream. I'll use like a little creamy cheese sauce. That's it. I don't go further than that. And as I'm cooking, you'll see I'll make it saucy and thick, and then only I throw the pasta and mix the pasta with it. So for now, I'm just waiting for a little bit of tomato whenever you're ready, and I can use that a little bit of that so long if you can give me a little bit of that.
Maar kyk eens, jy moes nou gesê as dit eers die tomatie nodig en ek steek jou so
No, it's cool. It's cool. You're doing a fantastic job, but more just almost a full spoon. A full spoon will go for that. And then last but not least, I will use a chicken spice because I'm doing chicken. It's a chicken pasta, so I will use, for instance, and here again I will use a full spoon.
Kyk hier nou, as ek gou mag vra, baie mense hulle gebruik sekere spices, maar hulle is baie particular op die spices wat hulle gebruik. As hy ook so al gebruik, sy maar enige spice.
No. What I do is I kind of use, I'm somebody that's not going to be really hectic on the spices, but just to give the food taste. But I think where people differ, cooks differ, is when to use the spice. Like as you could see, I used it from the beginning, and you'll notice if my son maybe cooks or somebody else cooks, they will use the spices, for instance, last or in the middle. I like using it at the beginning, and then it kind of it blends into the food. That's my opinion. It works for me. Thanks for the tomato.
Nou laat ek ook vir jou sê, iemand wat ook vir my eendag gekook het gesê dat kos smaak according to the method. So dis presies wat hy nou sê. Ek en jy kan miskien dieselfde dis maak en ons kan dieselfde ingredients gebruik. Maar dit hang af wanneer jy die ingooi en dit hang af wanneer ek daai ingooi. And that's exactly what she said.
Exactly. So for me, the methodology is important, but it's got to do with what suits you. Like I say, another woman would, for instance, never throw the spices in so soon. But for me, it works that way. Then it kind of blends all the time.
Oh, okay. Nou kan julle hoor, die ouwe sien net so lankie, maar hy is ook slim. Bly julle gou ingeskakel, ons is nou weer terug. Nou ja, ek gesels nog steeds lekker hier met Barkie en ek kan vir jou sê, die goedes wat die man ken, gaat ek nog uit op trek, moenie worry nie. Barkie, vertel gou vir my, of vir ons kykers, hoe ver is jou bietjie goedjies daarin?
The onions has braised nicely, the tomato is braised nicely, and also the peppers that you cut for me, thanks for that. And now you gotta I'll put in a big spoon of garlic, because my kids love garlic. So I'll put in a very big spoon of garlic.
Alright.
And here again it differs from cook to cook or person to person. And so you'll find not everybody wants a full or too much garlic. My kids love it, the garlic taste. And at this point, I must start putting the chicken breast.
Okay, maar nou gou voor sy daai ingaan. Ek sien sy gebruik daai garlic. Is daai garlic vir jou beter of die vars is?
So what I like is the paste, man. For me, it's easier to work with. Like I told you, maybe it's a guy thing, or maybe we're lazy. But the thing is, you know, I mean, we're dudes. And so for me, I prefer the garlic and ginger paste together. Because like I said, my kids are on a health buzz. They're all at that stage of their life. They want to eat healthy, so the whole garlic and ginger thing is very cool for them. They love it.
Okay.
And then you've cut the lemon. You keep that for a second. Just cut a piece of parsley for me there. And then what I'm going to do is just put in the chicken salam so that the chicken can get done. The pasta's almost done, Abidah. So that's awesome. So.
Is hierdie genoeg?
Yeah, just cut that up for me. Not too small. But just cut it up a little bit for me, I'll appreciate that.
Okay. Nou Barkie, vertel gou vir my, wat doen jy in jou daaglikse lewe?
Yeah, look, as you know, I was a bit of a professional tennis player in my days, so I'm still with the tennis. I'm running the sports there at the Mount Nelson Hotel. I'm the head pro there. And then that's my second job, but my main job is still the counseling. And the motivational speaking. So that's what I do. I'm still doing that kind of thing.
Okay, gou. Ek was nog nooit by die Nelson Hotel nie.
You must come for IT.
Okay. Nou dan, as ons nou praat van tennis, om self nou jy is so lank Barkie, het jy ooit miskien aan gedink om basketbal te speel?
You know, I mean, I think we had a discussion once about this. You know, that everybody assumes when you're tall that you will be a good basketball player, but it's not entirely true. When I lived in the States, I went to Idaho State University on a full scholarship. Now, when you go to the States and everybody plays basketball, and you think just because a guy is tall, he's going to play basketball and he's going to do well, it's actually a myth. It's a lie. You don't actually do well just because you're tall. I mean, you can break your ankle actually quite. You know, another sport where you can break your ankle very quickly is skiing. People think you're skiing on snow, so it's quite easy. If you ski or you play basketball, you always move to the left and right too sharp, and you can twist your ankle or break your ankle very quickly. I mean, we were beaten by women back in the day. I mean, so just because you're tall doesn't mean you're good at it. Because I didn't play basketball since young. I'm more of a soccer player and a tennis player. So everybody assumes when you're tall, you're going to play basketball, but it's actually not entirely true.
Nou, ek moet nogal sê, dat is interessant, want ek het dit daai geweet nie. And that is exactly what you are saying. Ons dink nou net 'n lang mens, hy's goed in basketball.
That's the problem. They have a lot of myths about tall people. So when you're tall, it's not really X, Y, and Z. You know, that kind of thing.
Nou weet ek ook. Maar nou Barkie, ek verstaan dan ook, jy's nie net 'n coachie. Wat is die naam wat jy vroeër genoem het?
No, I'm I'm a psychological performance coach, and I've been doing that for the last 5 years. I moved on from the counseling, but it's more therapeutic. So I run these workshops every second week in Claremont, different places. And then people book to come in here to the talks in specific topics.
Ja, maar nou praat nou gou nou met my wat nou nie juist exactly verstaan wat jy praat van 'n performing coach. Wat is dit?
You see, a performance coach is, sometimes you work with athletes because they're not performing. And sometimes on the therapeutic level, when you're a psychological performance coach, you work with why people get anxiety, why they're getting panic attacks, why they're not doing well, why somebody's maybe depressed. There's a therapeutic aspect to it as well. So that moves directly into the counseling part. But other than that, when it comes to sports, we stick to more the performance part. Why is my son not? I was working with a 15-year-old girl recently who made the South African under-19 cricket team, the female team. And all we did was we worked on a couple of things. Myself, we worked predominantly on the mental stuff. Her confidence, lack of confidence, the anxiety she gets before a match, things like that. So that's where the performance part. But the counseling part is very much. I do a lot of marriage counseling as well. Why are you laughing? You need help. Abidah needs help here, man. I think your husband's actually watching the show. It's not actually good.
Julle sal nou nie wil glo, kom ek lag nie. Hy help mense om hulle huwelike reg te ruk, maar hy's 'n enkel ou.
Yeah, but you know the old saying, the old adage. There's an old adage, you know, a mechanic's car's never fixed. But the thing is, that's actually a good point. But I think that makes me more experienced as well. Because somebody said one day something very important to me on air. I was on radio, and I think you were there that day actually. And the person said, how can somebody that's divorced or somebody that lost their relationship give advice on marriage? And my reply to that person was,
you were married.
No, besides that, my reply is that makes me more experienced to tell people what not to do.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
not lose their marriage.
The fact of the matter
And
is you were married, so you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, today I've got 2 women's groups. I've got a men group. I can tell men what not to do, what to do, when to say yes when the woman talks to you, when not to say yes, speel toneel, all that stuff. You can't do that if you don't have that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, julle bly ingeskakel. Ons kom nou weer terug, want ek dink die partykeer hy besef eintlik wat uit sy mond uitkom hè. En ek luister mos verskriklik baie lekker, dan kry ek hom net weer op sy selfde vraag. Ons is nou weer terug. Nou kan jy sien, Andy Elsie lag nog altyd vir my laaste antwoord wat ek gegee het op Barkie. Hy dink nie voor hy praat nie, maar hy dink seker ek vat nie notisie van wat hy sê nie. Hy kry hom op sy eie woorde. Maar Barkie, hoe ver is jou dis gedaan?
Basically, we're done. I need a piece of butter.
Piece of butter. Okay.
I try and use unsalted butter, but it doesn't matter if you use salted butter. Just a small piece of butter, just dump it in here.
There you go. Open
Just
my
dump
pass.
it in
Open
here,
my
we're
pass.
almost finished.
There
Just
you
dump
go.
it in here. Wow, you're the best. You're the champ.
Okay. Wat wil jy nou hê?
And this will take another 2 minutes.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain, as you can see. I'll quickly strain, I'll put this off. And then the pasta.
Yeah.
And then I have to put this thing on grill now because the end part is grilling the cheese on top of it. So I'll start putting this on grill.
Nou, waar is jou kaas? Moet ek nog jou kaas ook rasp?
No, you can just put it together for me, the cheese. And over there, so what I'll do is I'll have to now, while you're talking, I'm just gonna catch me and talk to me. I'm just gonna dump this in here. This is the pasta, I'm gonna strain it.
Maar nou kyk jy Barkie, as ons nog gou nou moet verder gaan met die vrou wat nou vir jou nou sê, hoe kan sy nou advies gee as hy 'n geskeide man is?
Exactly.
So nou, hoe laat dit jou voel in die eerste plek?
No, look, I must admit, I think this happened to me at the beginning of I've been counseling for 22 years,
Okay.
but I think this happened to me 14 years ago. And I think when this person said something to me, I just came back I was in France, I think Nice, France, or Amsterdam, and I came back and I was on air, and somebody said this to me.
Maar is dit heeltemal klaar?
That I'm finished with it, yeah. The only thing I must do still is put in a little bit of the sauce.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're so right. So what I'm saying is that I do get it. It makes total sense what she was saying. But then when I looked at it, I said to myself, that makes me experienced enough to tell people what not to do. Or were you making mistakes? For instance, one of the biggest mistakes I did in my marriage, I would say, that I can tell all men in my men's groups or when I do counseling, is that our love language is to serve.
Yes.
So our love language is to serve. So 80% of males make this mistake. We work.
Yeah.
We work so hard, we don't give the woman attention. We don't give her time, we don't give her the love that she needs and the time and attention that she wants.
Good.
And so therefore we make that mistake because we're too busy working. And we don't spend time and listen to our wives.
Sal dit dan ook sê nie maar in general, julle is so gefokus om te werk want julle wil ook die vrou net gelukkig hou waar geld betrek.
Exactly, we assume that.
Yeah.
Now when you're inexperienced and you're young, so now we tell all young men don't make the same mistake. Don't work yourself to death and not give this woman her love language, which is time. She wants affection, she wants you to spend time with her and listen to her. And now we didn't do that at the beginning. We're so busy working to provide, building the castle, and then we make this mistake. And so how can you do that if you're not divorced? You don't understand it. You understand it only when you've made the mistake. And so that is for me the beauty in my mistake, if I can call it that. It's the wisdom in my mistake. Okay. And so I would say to people, don't feel bad if things didn't go well in your relationship. Learn from it, grow from it, improve all the time, seek counseling, speak to elders, do what you need to do. And this is how we grow. We become better men. Most men today have lost their masculinity. So we don't have men. Most women today are not the same women like our mothers. Times have changed. There are single moms. 42% of children are being raised by single moms. So everything has changed, Abidah.
Nou, jy het ook nog genoem dat jy doen workshops en allerlei tipe van goeders. Wat is jou suksesrate uit? Maar kom mense daarom terug en sê Barkie, jy het geweer.
Yes, otherwise I wouldn't have the regulars that I have. I get a lot of feedback, but you don't want to make it a brag post, but you get a lot of feedback of people saying thank you, we appreciate it and what. So while you're talking, I think I need to throw the pasta.
Ek wil nou net vir jou sê, bring jou goedjies hiernatoe, laat ons dit net gou bymekaar sit.
I need to throw the pasta, so I want the viewers to see what I do right at the end. Yeah. So what I do right at the end is I would, for instance, now, where's that other spoon? I would, for instance, put the pasta in. Yeah. Some people do it slightly different to me.
Okay.
They would, for instance, not mix the pasta with the food, depending what pot you use.
Okay, all right.
So what I do is, I don't do that. I would not do that. I would then take the mixture, for instance here, you'll see here's my mixture. Yeah. And then this is the one me and you worked on, and I would then blend it in there. Okay. Can you see how nice it came? So it's nice and spicy also. And can you mix that for me, Abidah? That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And then as you mix that right through in between.
Ek wil nou net vra om meng.
Take a spoon, mix it nicely, and then we'll do the final part after this.
Yeah.
As you can see, it looks very nice.
Yes.
Just don't taste it, hey? Don't taste it yet. You're not allowed to taste it until the end.
Klaar is. Okay, so wat gaat nou nog op?
Can you see how it looks? It looks nice, spicy, not too bad. So now the last thing you do is, I will then take lemon and just add a little bit of lemon juice on it like that.
Yeah.
And then, not the parsley yet. And then can you grate the cheese for me on there? Take some of the cheese.
And gooi dat oor.
Yes, and then we're going to grill it. Awesome. Use all the cheese,
Goed, ek maak so man.
Come on, man.
Ooh, okay.
We on Proe. You got to do this.
Okay. So as ons nog praat van kaas, hoeveel se kaas sal jy nou sê?
This was a whole, let's say 600 grams of cheese.
Maar as ons nog praat in geld van, miskien 30, 40 hè?
Yeah, this would be about $50.
Okay.
You don't have to. Like I said, I was probably tiny overdoing it today.
No, wat is
But I think normally I wouldn't even, I would use enough cheese though.
Okay.
And then last but not least, then you just sprinkle a little bit of that on the end. Just sprinkle a little bit of that on the end.
Oh, net vir groenigheid.
That's so that my kids can assume that it's a healthy meal, and that's how I trick them. I make them think they've eaten a healthy meal, you know what I mean?
Okay, maar as ek nou nie parsley het nie, Dania sal ook okay wees.
Dania would also be awesome. Anything that's the thing.
Greenery.
You really do what suits you. And then what
that's
you,
it.
and
Dan
that's
gaan jy
it.
win.
Then what you do is you've got it on grill.
Oh, net grill, goed.
And you've got it on grill.
Ja.
And then you just put it on grill.
En as dan hoe lank gaan hy aan bly net tot die kaas gesmeld het,
Just
nee?
until the cheese is melted, and then you aim for a way. And so that's the thing.
Okay, so sit okay. Sê. Ek gaan maar hier skoonmaak sommer so lankie. En hoe lank bly jy daar?
Just like I said, until the cheese.
Ja, die kaas is gesmeld, maar ons praat van tyd 10, 15
I
minute.
would say about 5 minutes, depending on if the grill.
Hoe warm die stoof is.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's very hot or not.
Nou daar sê. Soos julle daar kan sien, Barkie se dis is klaar. Hy is in die oond. Wanneer hy uitkom, dan gaan ons sommer lekker proe. Nou ja mense, kyk net hoe lekker lyk die ou se pasta. Dis Barkie skep my so 'n bietjie laat ek kan proe man, en terwyl ek geproe na hardloop ek gou van my deur die bestanddele.
Can you see all the stuff that you did with me? It's now like looking good. And so I'm, so I will give this to you.
Kyk hoe.
Ladies first.
Hy swap sommer borde.
And I'll dish a tiny bit for me.
A tiny bit.
It's all about you.
Let me just see.
So as you can see, first I did the whole ingredients, the onions, the stuff that you cut, which was the tomatoes and all that stuff, and then I braised it for you. And then how does it taste? But don't lie. My kids are
taste wat ek kry is garlic.
My kids love garlic. So I told you so.
Garlic?
But my kids are brutal. My kids are total, I'm telling you, they are my best critiques. They don't hold back on critiquing anything about me, so that's cool. So I'm used to what you can
En as hulle vir jou die kritiek gee?
Then I try and improve.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, that's the only way I'm going to better myself. I can't be setting, how does it taste, man? Seriously.
Very nice.
You see, and it was a quick meal.
Very nice.
And I can serve, we are 4 guys, and I can serve all 4 people, and then there's still a bit of leftovers for later on.
No, meneer by mij alleen laat een jam plak.
Yes, it's divine.
Maar nou vir iemand wat hou van garlic, kan ek jou garlic uitlos?
Yes, you leave the garlic out, but garlic makes it nice, but don't do as much as I did. Because you have a husband, and you know when you kiss your husband, you're going to have bad breath. We don't want that. Okay?
Nou Barkie, ek wil dan ook vir jou sê, hier by Proe het ons nou nie veel nie, maar ons kan daarom vir jou sê, baie shukran vir wat jy vir ons toegelaat het in die huis, en daarom vir ons gekook het. En sê gou vir die mense, wat staan daar?
Proe met Abidah.
En wat doen sy nou?
I'm eating with Abidah. Can I also use this as a weapon?
Om vir wie te slaan?
If the kids don't listen to me, I can say from Auntie Abidah, Proe, it's better than a belt.
Maar Barkie, ek moet vir jou sê, jou Proe verskriklik lekker. Ek sal hom definitief probeer, maar 'n bietjie minder garlic insit, soos ek nou net gesê het.
Sure.
Maar hy proe baie lekker en hulle weet nou al, as ek meer as 1 of 2 keer geproe, dan is dit lekker. En ek kan vir jou sê, ja, dit is lekker. En ek kan julle maar net wys. En vir julle sê, ja wat, julle sien nie goed is op my bord. So nou natuurlik, na die gaan ek sommer nou nog verder lekker proe.
En ek hoop jy het die dag lekker geniet saam met my en Barkie McKrea. Tot volgende keer, mooi bly. Ek is Abidah Dixon, Mohamed en volgende week gaan kuier ek vir Barkie McKrea in sy kombuis.